Gaming Bolt presents 15 lies gamers tell themselves. Gamers are human. We're not meant to be perfect or in full control over our emotions, so getting overtly angry, sad, or happy with a game is a given. However, there may come a time or two where we just can't help but lie, even if it's to ourselves. Here are 15 lies that gamers tell themselves. This mechanic is bullshit. We've all failed that one sneaking portion in Hitman or screwed up a riposte in Dark Souls. It's natural to get frustrated over these things, but once you roll out this game's mechanics are bullshit, you're just making excuses. Maybe the mechanics don't work for you. Maybe you don't know how to use them in a particular situation, or maybe you just keep repeating a certain mistake. And hey, maybe you're just bad and need to improve. It happens to all of us. This boss is cheap. I recently faced Azure Rathalos in Monster Hunter World. It seemed like child's play at first, hitting him with flash pods and hacking away. However, after he rained down some fireballs, I was knocked out. This wasn't the first time this happened, and you may argue that the attack was cheap. But the key lies in knowing how to avoid such attacks, taking advantage of the game's systems and looking for tells. Sure, some areas like Lost Izalith in Dark Souls 3 can be cheap. However, if there are mechanics for learning how to beat certain enemies or bosses, learn them. I wasn't really trying. Of course, there are some of us that, when beaten by a boss, brush it off as not taking the whole thing seriously. You can see the same behavior in a number of competitive multiplayer games. I wasn't really taking this seriously, that's why I lost. Which, hey, if you're so insecure as to not admit someone or something is better than you, then hey man, more power to you. It's my team's fault. A follow-up to this is blaming your team for a loss during any multiplayer activity. Instead of looking to improve, some players simply look for shortcomings in their teammates. Mercy didn't pocket you enough, that's why you died, and not because you rushed into 3 enemies. Your team didn't play the objective or couldn't telepathically guess what you wanted them to do, so it's their fault and not yours. Matchmaking or lag or connection issues screwed me. Then again, there may be times where your failures aren't due to anything anyone else did wrong, yourself included. Rather, it's on factors that are outside of your control. Matchmaking, connection issues, lag, certain weapons or heroes being cheap. All of these are reasons why you failed. What's that? Learning from your mistakes and accepting that you can't always be in the best scenario? Pfft, no one's got time for that. My hero is balanced. Bridget is the newest hero in Blizzard's Overwatch and quite capable of soloing many other heroes. In fact, she's pretty tough to kill, and a strong player will crowd control the enemy like crazy while self-healing. Pretty overpowered, right? Well, no, because she's your favorite hero. Substituting Bridget for Mercy or Roadhog last year and you get the drift. Sorry, but you know they're unbalanced and need some changes. Don't pretend otherwise. I'll just play for an hour. After a long day at work, there are few things better than sitting down and playing some video games. Some of us are responsible, however, and decide to play for only an hour or two. Even if you're taking a break from studying, an hour seems reasonable enough, right? Next thing you know, it's 4 a.m. and you still haven't gotten that Warrior Streamstone. This doesn't happen all the time though, you swear. I won't play Stealth Archer. This is it, you've reinstalled the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim and queued up all of your favorite mods. You've sworn to stick to a melee build and not go Stealth Archer. Yes, it has insane damage with sneak attacks, especially as your skills level up, and armor is pretty much a non-concern. But you're gonna be something else this time, for real. Of course, inevitably, we all fall back to not only what works, but what works best. Stealth Archer for the win. Those fans are cringe, unlike me. Certain fans of a popular video game may be considered cringe just because they cosplay certain characters from video games, write fanfiction, or get ridiculous tattoos from the game. Look, I'm not gonna say Junkrat and Orisa are a good fanfic pairing, but are you really any less normal for trying to hit Grandmaster in Overwatch's competitive mode while being stuck in Platinum? Are you any more reasonable for laughing at someone's Dark Souls cosplay while playing the entire series for the 1000th time? This ties directly into I'm right and everyone else is wrong. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is a pretty great game. However, seeing its fans invade pretty much every forum to tell everyone who doesn't enjoy it that they're wrong can be infuriating. You could assume your opinions on video games are correct and everyone else is wrong, but that contradicts the very nature of opinions. It's one thing to love a game and criticize another, but hating on people just because they don't agree with you and pretending all of your opinions are perfect is just disingenuous. A game can have faults and still be great, mind you. The Witcher 3 is awesome though, don't question me. X is terrible because it isn't Y. Remember the eras of massive fanboy wars like Splinter Cell versus Metal Gear Solid, Sega versus Nintendo, and what have you. There's still plenty of outcry about some games not being like their competitors and thus sucking. Diablo 3 isn't like Path of Exile or Grim Dawn. Why are you people wasting time with it? Ghost Recon Wildlands isn't like Advanced Warfighter, and that's just terrible. Now, we can pretend that a game mimicking similar titles is key to success, or push for more innovation and give feedback when it doesn't work. But should Sea of Thieves actually be more like Blackwake? We're allowed to have different kinds of games, people. I deserve this, and you don't. If you've ever played Destiny, then you might have come across a particularly stupid trend called Zerned. Instead of working, cue heavy sarcasm, to get a random RNG loot drop, you instead purchased it from Xur, an exotic vendor for strange coins. Forget that you earned those strange coins by doing activities. Clearly you didn't earn that awesome Gallarhorn and Zerned it instead. This mindset of believing certain players deserve rewards while others don't is just another false idol of elitism that needs to go. I'm boycotting this game because reasons. Oh, what's this? Destiny 2's The Dawning tried to heckle money out of you with RNG loot boxes? You don't like the limited time event loot boxes in Overwatch. Middle-earth Shadow of War's in-game story annoys you. Oftentimes we get frustrated and promise to boycott X game due to its bad business practices, but really, we still pre-order and go through with our purchase. We're not saying certain business practices are acceptable, but calling out the hypocrisy behind the cry of boycotting a game while still playing it on release. I'm done and never coming back. Similarly, when we're fed up with a game, any game, it doesn't really matter, we angrily proclaim that it's over. Bungie's handling of Destiny 2 is abysmal and we're never coming back. Overwatch's competitive matchmaking is horrible, and after a rather bad run, where you probably didn't lose all that much SR, you've sworn off the game forever. Uninstall, break the disc, call the wedding off, the whole works. You know you're not done though. You know you'll be back all full of spit and vinegar because you're not a quitter. You'll always come back. I'm done being addicted to this game. Speaking of too late, you're never really going to be done with Warframe, or Path of Exile, League of Legends, Dota 2, Fortnite Battle Royale, or Monster Hunter World. You know these games are addictive and the updates are usually good, if not always amazing. But you know it's a problem and you should really play some other games. Even with titles like God of War, Ni no Kuni 2, A Way Out, and more reaping acclaim, you still go back to the old fateful grind. Why? Maybe it's all of the time you've already sunk into it, or because you don't really need anything else. This game is great, why would you need anything else? Don't worry though, this is one of those lies that you can tell yourself forever, and it's really okay. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from Gaming Bolt, you can always hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss any of our videos.